Hi, welcome to Koch Arena. After Wichita State's 81-70 victory over Davidson, the Shockers are 13-0 entering today. They're one of 8 unbeatens left in the nation, and they still are. This game had a Missouri Valley Conference feel to it. I think Davidson plays similar to some Missouri Valley Conference teams. It had a lot of intensity. Kirk, is that a good way for Wichita State to wrap up non-conference and head into conference play?
It's an excellent way. Davidson was a team that has a lot of motion offense going. They move. They seem to attack like a conference team. They never let the Shockers get away from them. Always had a big shot in them when the Shockers would kind of spread out the lead a little bit. Yeah, it's a perfect way to get into conference and SIU on Wednesday.
Yeah, Davidson had a lot of shooters. They had some big men who could shoot the three and kind of pull Darius Carter, pull the Shocker big men away from the basket, and that's usually something that Wichita State will see a lot of in the Valley.
It's a cliche, but it's the best 4-9 team in the country. I mean, they take North Carolina to overtime. They beat Georgia. They've got 3 road wins already. So to see them come in here and compete was not surprising, but they competed for 39 minutes basically today.
Yeah, and with Brooks back, he had missed 6 games. This was really a team much better than its record. This was the 5th nationally ranked team that they had played, and with Bob McKillop, their coach, has been there for 25 years, so they're always going to be solid. They weren't going to cave in, and they really played well. Really did some nice things. Probably the second or third really nice game from Clay Anthony early for Wichita State. He had 24 points, 8 of 15 shooting, made 3 of his 6 threes, and also grabbed 10 rebounds. What's kind of gotten Clay going in a good trend lately? Well,
there are games where it seems like he is just clamoring for the ball. I mean, he's not being demonstrative or anything, but he wants the ball. Today he seemed to get it within the offense. I didn't think that he really forced the issue very much at all. Let it come to him, and I think that he was quite effective that way. And of course, your teammates have to find you, and Baker did a nice job today, so did Fred. So good offensive movement against a pretty tough Davidson defense.
I think his rebounding has been really impressive all season. I think he's done a nice job of that and did a nice job again today. The Shockers have kind of been a little bit of an up and down rebounding team, but he's been pretty consistent, going hard to the boards, and has picked up some easy shots and some free throws from that. All right, Wichita State 13-0, best start in school history. They need one more win. They will equal the program's best winning streak from back in 1953, 1954.
What was that team like to cover?
I was going to ask Bob Lutz that question, and he will let us know. I think that was his first or second year on the beat with Ralph Miller.
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously where you want to be at 13-0, but what was encouraging about today is they didn't let anything get them down. It wasn't like some of the early games they had where it was tight at halftime and then they just came out and blew somebody that was inferior away. Today, good dogfight like they're going to see in the conference.
We'll wrap it up with maybe a little bit of a warning sign. Not much depth today, and I think that's something that we'll definitely be watching as Valley play starts. They had all 5 of the starters played 30 or more minutes, and that's been a real rarity under Greg Marshall, and they just didn't get much production at all from some of those bench players.
Nick Wiggins played 10 minutes, but it was a 10 minutes that you saw him in some roles that if you had Shadrack or Kadeem Colby in there instead, I think you might see Wiggins on the bench, but those guys really haven't produced much lately, so Nick was out there a little more. But yeah, you're right, the bench has to make some strides here coming up into the conference.
Definitely. All right, that's it from Koch Arena. Wichita State 81-70 victors over Davidson. Wichita State's 13-0. They play on January 2nd at Southern Illinois. Thanks.